coal-fired power. Do you think the government should actually invest in coal-fired power?
Well, look, that's not an issue. That's not an issue directly for me. But what I would say is that our policies on this are incredibly clear. We know we need more renewable.
Well, what is the government's policy on coal-fired power?
Well, as you know, it's getting the mix. It's getting the mix right. So our policy that was announced this week is an extra $3.5 billion for new and sustainable energy programs. Something like the Snowy Hydro, which again is going to be the biggest battery in the southern hemisphere.
The coal-fired power. What's the position on coal-fired power?
Coal has a legitimate place in our energy mix. We have plentiful coal. We have clean coal. We also have gas. We have got great resources. So absolutely, for the moment, should it remain part of our energy mix so that it is reliable and affordable? Absolutely.
Yeah, but the question was, should the government invest in coal-fired power? This is as clear as mud right now. What is the government's position?
Well, again, we've made our position on energy very clear.
Not on whether to invest in coal-fired power, though.
But why should it be the government's responsibility to invest in power generation?
Like
it is the federal government's
Snowy Hydro and
to set the policy, and we are setting the policy for the energy of the future.
Well, you are investing in Snowy Hydro, other pumped hydro. Tony Abbott says you should also invest in coal-fired power. I'm just trying to work out what is the government's position.
Well, it is a legitimate debate, and it is a legitimate debate that we're having. And as I said, we've got a very clear policy. It's there in black and white, $3.5 billion for a wide variety of programs, small local communities.
But on this question, though, on whether to invest in coal-fired power, you're not sure, or you're still working it out?
No, I'm not sure how much clearer I can be, David, because our policy is there in black and white. Melissa Price, who's an outstanding minister, has released that policy. We are meeting our...
So what does it say about whether the government should invest in coal-fired power?
But David, we are meeting our current targets, and surely that is the issue.
No, that's an important issue, but my question, sorry Minister, my question was, should the government invest in coal-fired power?
Well, it is not an issue for me to make a unilateral decision on.
But do you know the government's position?
It is. The government's position is in what is in that package, is that we are investing in renewable energy, and how much clearer can I be, David?
You're very clear about renewables, but not coal-fired power, with respect, Minister. I'm just trying to get one more time, straight answer. Should the government invest in coal-fired power?
Yeah. David, I have said to you that coal absolutely still plays an important part in the mix. There are always ongoing discussions, and as you know, in relation to high energy, low emission coal stations, there is a community debate going on at the moment about that, including at the highest levels in our society and within the government. So absolutely, well of course, because you don't have policy change if you don't have discussions at that level. So we have a very clear policy. We are meeting our Kyoto, and we're on track to meet our 2030 targets. The real question is, we're on track, our policy is on the record, and where's Labor's policy? How are they possibly going to be able to...
Well, they're not going to invest in coal-fired power. They're straight up about that.
You know, but 45%, David, 45%.
That's a fair point.
As you and I well know, that will destroy our economy.
All right.
So they've got the target, but how are they going to meet it? Our policy is on the table.
Okay,
everybody to see.
Linda Reynolds, Minister for Defence Industry. Good to talk to you. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks, David.